automotive classic.
Oh my, it really moves.
It's pretty quick.
What is it about the Corvette that has captured America?
You have Lamborghinis, you got Ferraris, but the American sports car has always been the Corvette.
It's the dream that keeps a soldier going.
Do you think that helped him get through very difficult times at war?
Absolutely.
The decision that vexes his heir.
It was the most difficult thing I've ever done in my life.
The ultimate for vet collectors.
It was an urban legend that there was this impeccably original, pristinely kept 1967 Corvette.
You got 3, 4.
And a mystery on wheels.
Something is fishy because that's not there.
I'm Jamie Colby on the outskirts of Chicago, on my way to meet a guy whose strange inheritance takes us back to a time when American cars rule the road. America herself leads the free world. And a working-class kid from the Midwest just dreams of making it home.
My name is Matt Latavsky. My father meant the world to me, and he left me a very special car that meant the world to him. He chose me to preserve it, but there came a time when I had to let it go.
Hi, Matt. I'm Jamie.
Hi, Jamie. It's nice to meet you.
I know I came here to see your inheritance, this magnificent car, but when we're done, you got to take me for a ride in this.
All right, we'll see about that.
I'm on my best behavior.
Okay.
To appreciate the car, says Matt, you first need to know about his dad and why his 1967 Corvette meant so much to him. Keith Latavsky is born in Lisle, Illinois in 1944. World War II's drawing to a close, the Cold War is about to begin, America's leading the charge. And nowhere is the country's muscle bolder than on American roadways, which GM, Ford, and Chrysler are pumping with some of the coolest cars on earth.
It wasn't all about just having a four-door family car like it had been in the past.
Auto analyst John Cramen.
The manufacturers jumped on board with a variety of high-performance cars, wild colors. The styling really affected by the aviation theme with the big fins and the wild futuristic styling.
No wonder Keith loves cars from boyhood. Long before he gets his license, he settles on his dream ride. The American beauty that first rolls off the assembly line in 1953 when he's 9 years old. The Chevy Corvette.
And the Corvette just reset the bar totally with innovative styling and a fiberglass body, which at the time was unheard of.
A decade later, in 1963, when Keith's saving up for his first new car, Chevy reintroduces the Corvette with a new body style and renames it the Stingray. Keith wants one more than ever, but the Vette's 4K list price is way out of reach. So he settles for a little less.
The Plymouth Belvedere was his first car he bought new. It has a 426 wedge in it. It was what he could afford at the time.
He doesn't have it long. In 1965, the war in Vietnam is heating up, and Uncle Sam calls Keith's number.
He gets drafted, and he sells the Plymouth Belvedere to his brother.
Soon he's in the line of fire, with no guarantee he'll return.
He was in reconnaissance, so he went through a lot of difficult situations there. He met a lot of good friends and lost a lot of good friends.
If Keith does get back home, he's making sure a big reward awaits him. In each letter to his family, he encloses his combat pay with a specific goal in mind, a brand new Corvette. Do you think that was a dream that he hung on to that helped him get through very difficult times at war?
Absolutely. A lot of guys would flip through the flyers from the car dealers and pick out a car, and I think psychologically it helped them get through to know that they'll have that car there. So it was something to look forward to.
Here's a strange inheritance quiz question. What percentage of cars in America were foreign made in 1967? Less than 1%? About 10? 25? Or more than 40%? The answer after the break.
Get fast-acting nasal relief that works in seconds and lasts for up to 12 hours with Zicam Extreme Congestion Relief and Zicam Intense Sinus Relief. For colds and allergies, get your better back with Zicam nasal sprays.
As a Hall of Fame coach, I know it takes the right combination of ingredients to win championships. Synodrin, powered by Immunodrin, is the most complete joint health supplement on the market today, combining 6 leading ingredients to make the best formula possible. Whether you're a weekend warrior or on your feet all day, why settle for less? Have the best with Synodrin Complete Joint Health. Results guaranteed.
Get 30% off Synodrin this week only at Amazon.com.
How do you win at business? Stay at La Quinta, where we're changing with contemporary makeovers. Then use the ultimate power handshake, the upper hander with a double palm grab. Who has the upper hand now? Start winning today. Book now at LQ.com.
Money is like life. You have to decide how to get the most from it. So we made you some simple, free tools to help you see how what you do today will affect your tomorrow. Which means you can make smart choices about how to spend your money and your life.
The moment a fish is pulled up from the water, it's a race against time. And keeping it in the right conditions is the best way to get that fish to your plate safely.
Sometimes a product arrives and the cold chain has been interrupted, and we need to be able to identify where in the cold chain that occurred.
We took our world-class network and we developed devices to track environmental conditions. This device allows people to understand what's happening with the location, but also if it's too hot, if it's too cold, if it's been dropped. It's completely unique.
If you have a sensor that can keep track of your product, it keeps everybody kind of honest that way.
Who knew a tiny sensor could help keep the food chain safe?
For my constipation, my doctor recommended I switch to Miralax. Stimulant laxatives forcefully stimulate the nerves in your colon. Miralax is different. It works with the water in your body, unblocking your system naturally.
Save up to $5 on Miralax. See Sunday's paper.
So, what percentage of cars in America were foreign made in 1967? It's B, about 10%.
Vietnam, April 1966. Keith Latofsky is praying he'll make it home to Illinois and the dream car he's saving for, a Chevy Corvette. One day, as Keith's unit is searching for the enemy, shots ring out in the jungle. A firefight erupts, bodies dropping everywhere.
He carried his wounded commanding officer out.
Literally carried?
Literally carried him out of this firefight.
Corporal Latofsky makes it home in the winter of 1967.
Still had shrapnel in his leg.
Amazing.
But came home with 2 Purple Hearts and a lot of interesting stories.
And that car of his dreams is waiting for him. This 67 Chevrolet Corvette, fresh off the assembly line.
He actually had ordered the car while he was in Vietnam. Then came home and picked up the car.
Marina blue finish, bright blue interior, sweet. Plus red pinstripe tires and a black Stinger, poetry on wheels. Keith even keeps the sales sticker from the dealer. How much did it cost?
It was around $5,500.
So you had to save for a while.
It's a lot of money back then.
What the heck? He's 23, just out of the Army, single, handsome, buff. This ride perfectly fits his life, but just for a fleeting moment. Keith enrolls in college on the GI Bill and marries Crystal Kirian. She's divorced with 5 kids. Life had thrown Crystal a curveball, and Keith was right there to catch it. Young guy marries a woman with 5 children.
Yeah.
5 of you.
5 of us.
How old were you when they got married?
I think I was about 5.
What kind of father was he?
If I could be half the man he was, I'll be a success. He was the best.
And so were his wheels.
One of my first memories takes place in the Corvette. Me and my two brothers climbed in the back, and he gave us a ride.
Meanwhile, Chevy is working up big changes for the Corvette, changes that will have profound consequences for this strange inheritance story. In 1968, the Stingray body style takes on a kind of pre-70s vibe. Some folks love the new Vettes, some hate them. Either way, those earlier Corvettes quickly become collectibles, and the 67, the last of the old body styles, would become the ultimate.
Those cars are regarded today as some of the most desirable and valuable Corvettes of all time.
Keith Latofsky saw it coming.
He knew he had a car that might be worth some money someday and decided to not drive it as much. Every time he drove it, he would write stuff down and log it in a logbook.
Like what?
Well, if he started it up, he'd say July 5th, 80 degrees outside, started the car, revved it up to 3,500 RPMs 3 times and shut it down, or changed oil.
According to Keith's log, the odometer shows just 2,600 miles when he marries. He won't put very many miles on it after that. Even if he wanted to, he won't get the chance. When he's just 30 years old, he's diagnosed with testicular cancer.
He was sick in and out of the hospital, a lot.
The disease makes a long, slow march through his body. In 1992, at age 48, Keith's prognosis becomes dire. Matt, now 28 and living on his own, moves back to his childhood home in suburban Chicago to help his mom take care of his dad.
You could just see that from such a strong guy that the cancer was just eating him alive, literally.
On nights when Keith's in too much pain to sleep, Matt stays up with him, and they talk all night.
He kind of opened up a lot about his time in Vietnam, and it was difficult for him.
And he entrusts Matt to drive his prized car for the first time.
He knew the car had to be driven. He could no longer shift the car. So, just about killed him to say, go ahead.
Keith knows the car he dreamed of in the Vietnam jungle, bought for $5,000 in combat pay, and meticulously maintained ever since, is now worth a lot more than that. 6 figures, easy. So as death nears, he must decide what to do with it.
He was nervous that my brother might sell the car. He wanted to keep the car around as long as he could.
When Keith finally succumbs to cancer in 1993 at age 49, he leaves the Corvette to Matt alone.
I think that was kind of his way of saying thank you.
But Matt senses the rest of his family feels left on the side of the road.
It left a little animosity with my brothers and sisters because my dad loved all of us the same, but because I inherited the car, there was always some tension there.
That tension worries him. One day he'll have to pass on this strange inheritance. What'll he do when he hits that fork in the road? We're really gonna go for a ride?
We're going for a ride.
I'm ready.
Here's another quiz question for you. What was the most popular Corvette color in the 2017 model year? Arctic white, torch red, racing yellow, or black? The answer when we return.
This program is brought to you by Lilly Diabetes.
I can do more to lower my A1C.
And I can do it with what's already within me.
Because my body can still make its own insulin. And once weekly Trulicity activates my body to release it. Trulicity is not insulin. It comes in a once weekly, truly easy to use pen. It works 24/7, and you don't have to see or handle a needle.
Trulicity is a once-weekly injectable medicine to improve blood sugar in adults with type 2 diabetes when used with diet and exercise. It should not be the first medicine to treat diabetes or for people with type 1 diabetes or diabetic ketoacidosis. Do not take Trulicity if you have a personal or family history of medullary thyroid cancer, if you have multiple endocrine neoplasia syndrome type 2, or if you're allergic to Trulicity. Stop Trulicity and call your doctor right away if you have a lump or swelling in your neck, severe stomach pain, or symptoms like itching, rash, or trouble breathing. Serious side effects may include pancreatitis. Taking Trulicity with a sulfonylurea or insulin increases your risk for low blood sugar. Common side effects include nausea, diarrhea, vomiting, decreased appetite, and indigestion. Some side effects can lead to dehydration, which may worsen kidney problems.
I choose once-weekly Trulicity to activate my within.
If you need help lowering your A1C and blood sugar, activate your within. Ask your doctor about once-weekly Trulicity.
It's easy to think that all money managers are pretty much the same. But while some push high-commission investment products, Fisher Investments avoids them. Some advisors have hidden and layered fees. Fisher Investments never does. And while some advisors are happy to earn commissions from you, whether you do well or not, Fisher Investments fees are structured so we do better when you do better. Maybe that's why most of our clients come from other money managers. Fisher Investments, clearly better money management.
Hi, this is Ed Rollins. President Trump has demanded an end to chain migration and the visa lottery, along with securing our borders by building the wall. But many in Washington refuse to support President Trump's immigration policies, including the wall. Tell Congress it is time to fully support President Trump's immigration policies and fully fund the wall. Congress was given a mandate by the American people, and we need to send a message that we are going to support President Trump all the way through 2020. We demand they do the same. Call the number on your screen and join me in demanding Congress support President Trump's immigration policies and fund the wall. Call now.
President Trump is demanding an end to chain migration, an end to the visa lottery, and the building of a wall to secure our southern border. Please pick up the phone now and call 800-291-9332. If you support President Trump's immigration policies, we must make our voices heard. Again, call 800-291-9332. Great America PAC is responsible for the content of this message.
So, what was the most popular Corvette color in 2017? It's Arctic White, which made up 18% of new Vettes sold. But if you guessed red, you're close. If you combine Torch Red and Long Beach Red, the two shades add up to 20%.
This 1967 Corvette is the gift that Vietnam soldier Keith Lutovsky gives to himself for returning home alive. He buys it with his combat pay, maintains it meticulously, and drives it a mere 8,500 miles until his death in 1993.
He added a lot to the documentation of the car and the validity of it. For me, it was more sentimental just going through and seeing her dad's handwriting, how cool it was.
Absolutely.
Special.
His son Matt knows he's inherited much more than a 26-year-old sports car, but isn't sure what to do with it.
It was years of prayers and, you know, saying, hey, God, what do you want me to do with this car?
So he just maintains the classic, even more fastidiously than his father had.
The car has never been to a car show. You know, my neighbors didn't even know I had the car.
Oh, my. Why would they? In the 2+ decades after his dad dies, Matt marries, starts his own family, but racks up just 30 more miles on the Corvette. He takes it out rarely for a quick drive around the block, just to keep all the parts working. Ah, sounds good, Matt. Ah, that smell, too. It's a beautiful thing.
It smells like America.
I love the way it looks. It looks like the day it came out of the showroom.
I've done my best.
But while Matt's neighbors don't know about his strange inheritance, rumors abound in Corvette world.
It was sort of an urban legend for a long time that there was this impeccably original, pristinely kept 1967 Corvette. Corvette enthusiasts in particular go crazy over mint condition, unrestored original cars.
Really big money enthusiasts, like former race car owner Gary Runyon and his wife Jackie of Carmel, Indiana. So what is it about the Corvette that you think has captured America?
You know, you have Lamborghinis, you got Ferraris, and all types of European cars, but the American sports car has always been noted as the Corvette.
Like the Runyon super rare 1957 Airbox. Only 43 of them were made. And their serial number 001 the first off the assembly line in 1965. A couple are always ready to add to their collection. What is your criteria?
A real, unrestored, original engine transmission, original interior, and a story behind it.
Well, there's certainly a great story behind Matt's Corvette. Unless everything he thought he knew about his strange inheritance is wrong.
Original, unrestored 67 Corvettes. There's a little tiny dot, and
I don't see it.
Something is fishy because that's not there.
What's your strange inheritance story? We'd love to tell it. Send me an email or go to our website, strangeinheritance.com.
Pull together. A little left.
Easy, easy, easy. All right, all right. We've all got places to go. We've all got places to go.
Washington crossing the Delaware Turnpike? Surprising. What's not surprising? How much money Sean saved by switching to Geico.
Big man with a horn.
15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
This is where life expresses itself as an endless flow of energy. Are you ready? Atlantis. Bahamas at heart.
Book by February 14th for the best winter rates at 1-800-ATLANTIS or AtlantisBahamas.com.
It's time for the ultimate Sleep Number event on the only bed that adjusts on both sides to your ideal comfort, your Sleep Number setting. Does your bed do that? Right now, save 50% on the ultimate limited edition bed. Ends soon. Visit sleepnumber.com for a store near you.
As a Hall of Fame coach, I know it takes the right combination of ingredients to win championships. Citadin, powered by Immunodrin, is the most complete joint health supplement on the market today, combining 6 leading ingredients to make the best formula possible. Whether you're a weekend warrior or on your feet all day, why settle for less? Have the best with Citadin Complete Joint Health. Results guaranteed.
Get 30% off Synedrin this week only at Amazon.com.
Today, a focus on innovation in the Southern Tier is helping build the new New York, starting with advanced manufacturing that brings big ideas to life and cutting-edge transportation development to connect those ideas to the world, along with urban redevelopment projects worthy of the world's top talent. All across New York State, we're building the new New York. To grow your business with us in New York State, visit esd.ny.gov.
And the wolf huffed and puffed.
Like you do sometimes, Grandpa?
Well, when you have COPD, it can be hard to breathe. It can be hard to get air out, which can make it hard to get air in. So I talked to my doctor. She said,
Symbicort could help you breathe better, starting within 5 minutes. Symbicort doesn't replace a rescue inhaler for sudden symptoms. Symbicort helps provide significant improvement of your lung function. Symbicort is for COPD, including chronic bronchitis and emphysema. It should not be taken more than twice a day. Symbicort contains formoterol. Medicines like formoterol increase the risk of death from asthma problems. Symbicort may increase your risk of lung infections, osteoporosis, and some eye problems. You should tell your doctor if you have a heart condition or high blood pressure before taking it.
Symbicort could mean a day with better breathing. Watch out, piggies.
Get Symbicort free for up to 1 year. Visit SaveOnSymbicort.com today to learn more. If you can't afford your medication, AstraZeneca may be able to help.
Now back to Strange Inheritance.
In 1993, Vietnam veteran Keith Lutovsky dies and leaves his son Matt his '67 Corvette Stingray. Off we go. Since then, it's hardly left Matt's garage, except for short drives to keep it running right.
What's this? That's a St. Christopher medal for the patron saint of travelers. So he kept it in here because he felt like it would keep the car safe.
Oh,
and,
really?
Yeah. So I thought it should stay with the car.
It's wonderful. But by 2016, Matt's in his 50s and wondering about what would happen to the Corvette if something were to happen to him. He knows a pristine, unrestored 67's worth a fortune and recalls the tension among his siblings after his father left the car solely to him.
I have 2 boys and a daughter, and splitting a car 3 ways is not easy. Splitting money 3 ways is a lot easier.
After a lot of soul-searching, Matt decides it's time to sell.
So, and it was a decision that, honestly, I prayed for years.
Matt brings the Corvette and his father's story to Mecum Auctions in Wisconsin. Remember John Cramen? He's their director of consignments, and they discover a big problem.
Part of the build process of the very unique fiberglass body of the Corvette has a little mold dot that's just part of the normal manufacturing process. You know, imagine our surprise that that little hood channel dot is missing.
It's about the size of the tip of a ballpoint pen.
David Burrows, Mecum's automobile authentication expert, pinpoints the problem for me.
So if you count in 13 of these ribs, it would be right about in the center of this little gutter.
But it's missing.
So restored cars, that gets all sanded off to make it look pretty and shiny, and then that little fingerprint gets obliterated, and so that implies that this car has been either restored or at least something is fishy.
I knew what I had, and I knew everything I had was genuine and real.
That one little dot could be the difference between someone believing you and not believing you. And a difference of hundreds of thousands of dollars at auction. But how do you prove what was or wasn't done to a 50-year-old car? The Mecum team scrambles. They track down other 67 Corvettes manufactured around the same time.
We were able to collect photos of unrestored cars in this VIN range. The serial numbers were where this car fits, in that VIN range.
All 67s?
Oh, yes, and none of them had the dot.
Dot mystery solved.
It's a home run in the World Series.
May 20th, 2017, the 67 Corvette, along with all of its documentation, hits the auction block. 50 years after it was sold to Corporal Keith Richard Latofsky, who gave himself a present for returning home from battle alive.
The 1967 Corvette is making its way into the building with Matt Latofsky behind the wheel.
And with a heartfelt tribute in honor of Matt's father.
They just really paid a great tribute to my dad and the car.
And here we go. Start the bed.
Befitting a classic American sports car, would-be buyers maneuver fast and furiously to own the Corvette with the classic American story. The bidding starts at $100K.
3, 4, 300,000 on it.
It's off to the races.
5, now 500,000 on it.
It blows through the $500,000 mark in seconds.
Catch time funds 25, go 25.
And then?
Sold $675,000.
You may recognize that gentleman there in the checked shirt. That is Gary Runyon with his wife, Jackie.
That same husband and wife team, the rare car collectors we met earlier in Indiana.
It was totally unrestored, absolutely gorgeous. I gave a thumbs up and a head nod, and Gary said, "You just purchased that car."
I see tears of joy. It appears this story is going to have a happy ending.
It will, yes.
Matt was a great caretaker for his dad's vehicle, and to be frank with you, I believe that's exactly what Jackie and I are.
Again, God answered my prayer. I didn't pray for money. I prayed for it to go to a good home.
Of course, that $675,000 will go a long way, but the values inherited from his dad will go even farther.
What are you thinking?
I was just thinking about how I think he instilled in all my brothers and sisters a lot of perseverance and just getting through anything. Didn't matter what it was. You'll get through it.
What did he teach you about America?
You know what? It's the land of the free, home of the brave. And there's no BS there.
Even though the Corvette has been around now for more than 60 years, it's nowhere near retirement. In fact, it's become a verb. Corvette lovers like to say they're vetting, an apropos phrase for Matt's father, the vet, who loved his vet. I'm Jamie Colby. Thanks so much for watching Strange Inheritance. And remember, you can't take it with you.
Lee brothers. One strange picture.
I always thought, why did we have a painting like that in our dining room?
It stirs up the sale of the century.
750, we do have 750 right here.
Oh my God. I'm thinking, what is this?
Are you thinking that the people on the phone are making a mistake, or they know something that you don't?
They know something that I don't.
I'll take you 300,000.
It was a complete shock.
$830,000.
He said, Amy, it was a Rembrandt.
Not so fast.
So it is possible that this thing turns out not to be.
Totally.